All right. Should be good to go here. It is Thursday, December 4th. Jumping right in here. Set to public. Should be live. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. A couple things that I want to look over here real quick. PLRZ seems to have done a continuation move. So this had a move a couple days ago, held up. I noted that it held up, but didn't really think much of it. And today we got, or rather yesterday evening, we got a very nice extension. Really good to see, because that puts significant pressure on shorts. So I am optimistic today that we could see more momentum. Not necessarily on this, but just in general. So that's kind of the mindset I have going in for the day. As far as other stocks moving, I mean, CBIO is moving, but volume's a bit lower. Not as impressed by how this is held up as well, because we did kind of just have this very large gap, and then it kind of just has been rolling over. Still, very interesting. Very interesting that once we're seeing this short pressure and we get this stock that had news, we just see this immediate move up, right? Like what was this moving to? From like 13 to 22. I mean, that's like a 70% move. I actually probably should document that. This seems relevant. Good morning, Beach Tune Music. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Flip Flop. Yeah, so this is going to be pretty much decision day here. PLRZ, very impressive how this stock has moved relative to the last big squeeze it had, right? I mean, we've gone from $3 up to 22 essentially. So this is significant pressure on anybody who was short this. And I think anyone today who sees this might be more afraid to short and hold into pain, which could give us momentum if we see opportunity. Looking at the other stocks we have here, nothing else is really jumping out. We have Kayla. This isn't really what I'm looking for. All right. Looks like Lasse is popping up. Yeah, it had news at 7. Well, it had news at 6:30 as well. These look like they're different, though. This is a correction from November 28th. This looks like something different. Okay. Now, Lasse has made some weird moves in the past, right? Just going on the yearly chart here. You can see we had this very weird flush into a spike. So this has a history of making very extreme moves that are a little bit hard to justify. Morning has been slow so far since open. Well, I mean, you had PLRZ, but I guess it's been mostly selling off, right? I mean, it kind of moved, right? We had a little bit of movement here. But yeah, other than this, I would guess not that much. All right. Lasse, you're short at 339. Well, good luck. Seeing some volume coming in. It looks like the shares outstanding is a little bit high. Good morning, Football Master. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Started to pop and fade. Yeah, I mean, and right, in your defense too, while this is a nice move going from 16 to 21, when you're looking at what it did yesterday, this is like a dent. So, in your defense, this isn't super crazy. Yeah, I wasn't here for it. I saw it this morning when I got on. I was like, holy crap. I had to kind of do a shift because after the cold day from yesterday, because, I mean, if we're being honest, I thought that yesterday was pretty cold. ARTL gave some interesting move, but it ended up giving the whole thing back. And most other stocks just sold off. So I was really skeptical. I was actually leaning slightly bearish. But seeing this has got me back into that neutral territory. Yeah, peanuts. I mean, yeah. I totally get that. But yeah, I mean, it's really just Lasse that I'm seeing on scanners at the moment. I'm not super impressed because of the higher float. KALA, I can look at it. Oh yeah, I was looking at this earlier. I wasn't super impressed by it, just I was looking at how this price action has been. It seems like it's been kind of choppy. Price is a bit lower too. Let me check the shares outstanding here. We got around, I mean, 8 million, 6 million, we'll just say 7 million shares outstanding. It's not super high. The price is a bit low. We also don't have news. So no news, price is a bit low. I don't really like that so much. If you look at the level 2, it's also somewhat thick. I mean, I'm willing to push a little bit here if we see stocks really moving. I'm talking like 50% mover, but it's got to be exceptional quality. This isn't quite what I'm looking for. But no, good call out on KALA. K-A-L-A. Clearly seems to have momentum. Lasse really getting hammered here. Look at this. Holy. So this historically has made very monstrous moves, right? I called this out on the daily. So I'm not going to actually punch it here, even though this volume is a bit lighter. Because this has a history, you can't actually see it on the daily, but there was one day where I had a huge win on this, where the thing just rugged like 60% on low volume. And I could have made a lot more, but realistically, I wasn't anticipating that big of a flush. I'm being more open-minded to this, and I would be open-minded to trying to get in here around 250 if we see that big of a move. Might sound crazy to say that, but historically, this stock has acted this way before. Now, one thing that's a little bit concerning is that the volume is a little higher here. I still think this is a bit of an overreaction, but I'm going to respect this a little bit because this has made big moves to the downside in the past. So I'll be a little more patient with trying to jump in. Good morning, Benjamin. Good morning, good morning. Very crazy too. Like it always surprises me how you can look at a stock like this on the front side and think that this looks so strong just to have it turn into this. It's crazy to me. Had I actually sniped this bottom, I mean, 7 cents a profit. That's not even worth it. Yeah, better to keep waiting. See if this thing pulls down to like 650s or 250s. I'm still watching KALA on the side. Okay, looks like we're just immediately coming back here, getting ready to maybe make a new low. Yeah, I want to see this extend on light volume. This volume, relative to this, isn't terrible, but a little bit high. We're already up to 26 people. I appreciate you guys all jumping in. If you guys could do me a favor and hit that like button so I can get this out to more people, I would appreciate it. But yeah, we really just have Lasse, more of a falling knife setup. We have KALA. I'm mostly disqualifying this one. I don't really like its criteria. But it does have movement, does have volume. And lastly, PLRZ. Still going to be watching this one on the side just to see how it moves. This is really the short pain thesis right now, right? Anyone who's short this is in a lot of pain. Maybe that carries over to other stocks. Okay, this is just kind of bouncing here. Didn't really give that initial pop that I would have wanted anyway. Yeah, this is... I do want to make note of this. What is the... shares? Okay, it's around 7 million, yeah. Just documenting it here. Because I'm choosing not to engage with this. So if this works out, I want to be able to look back at the qualities of this stock that I chose not to engage with. I actually want to add one more thing. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything else on the scanners at the moment, so looks like we're mostly in wait and see mode. Lasse still kind of ranging in that 270, 280 range. KLA, this is actually a pretty significant pullback. Right, still seeing high volume here on this backside. Not really what I would want to see for a continuation. Yeah, I didn't realize it, but I'm on like a 7 or 8 day green streak. I've actually been having a pretty good streak lately, right? Knock on wood. Now I'm going to have a red day today. But yeah, I look back on it and I was kind of surprised to see how consistently I've been ending the day green. Hopefully we can continue that trend. I haven't been giving too much risk exposure lately. I've been cutting trades. Either I've been cutting them early, or I've only been holding them if they're in profit. Okay, so we have a bit of a bounce here. 118, 125, 7-cent bounce. Could even be breaking out more. I'll stick with my conviction not to touch it, though. Well, I want to be more aggressive, right? But it's just this market is very, very punishing at the moment. It feels like a lot of stocks are just rolling over. And even yesterday when I was trying to prod, because, you know, Monday, Tuesday, we had a lot of good performers, I was trying to poke and prod more, but I just kept having small burns where I kept having to get out of the way. And the reality is I can't engage aggressively and just hold. That strategy just doesn't work right now. At least not for me. The only exception might be micro sizing on the front side of a very volatile stock. But that's it. I haven't really seen anything else that's worked super well. Nice consistency, thank you. I mean, that's the one thing that is nice, right? By being super defensive, I'm not really risking a lot. Right? The odds of a max loss day are, I mean, virtually non-existent at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, though, we're just watching for the half hour, because I don't really... I mean, I don't want to engage with KALA, and Lasse just kind of sold off, and now it's going sideways on no volume. So I'm not really interested in either of these stocks. Really, best case is just to watch to see how KALA plays out. Yeah, this volume's high. Slightly higher than the pullback. But it's not super impressive. We've got this clear resistance here around the 136s or so. Yeah, this is having a nice channel. We're getting a bit of a wedge forming. I'll be honest, I'm actually slightly bearish on this. Again, just how high the volume on the selling pressure has been. I know that the move back up and then this consolidation was on also high volume, but I'm just not seeing super clear conviction to me. And maybe that's just because the price is lower and the float's higher, so it has to churn longer. But I'm not super high conviction on this. Okay, we had a break. See if it holds here. Volume's decent, but not crazy high on this candle. For a breakout candle, this is a little bit low. Really nice immediate follow-up though, right? High volume within the first 20 seconds of this candle. Small win for you on Kayla. Good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, it's moving up, right? But I just don't see any real edge to me. So I'm not really interested. 100% accuracy. All right. Let me know at the end of the day if you're still 100% accurate. Okay. Lasse rolling over more. Another leg down. I don't think 250s is safe anymore because this is consolidated too much. You would probably need to see like 240, like right low 240s, high 230s. That'd be the next spot. Only 7 cents? A couple of bucks? Okay. I mean, hey, you're up more than me right now. It trades it all for me. Made 13% on Kayla. Very nice. Looks like I'm being left behind the party today on Kayla. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's any immediate news on this, so this really just genuinely looks like a squeeze play. Or rather, a continuation of this move that looked like it was dead on the yearly chart. Right, because you had this movement here. This was probably by an actual catalyst, because you see there's a lot of December 1st headlines here. So there may have been actual news around this period, and it looked like it was dead, and now we're seeing this reversal. All right, because 140s puts us around here. So there's some opportunity from that angle. The fact that it's not live news, though, I think that detracts heavily from my preference. We started at 6 a.m. I see. All right, we got 5 minutes till the half hour. We'll see if we get anything new on the scanners. I mean, it's just so thick. To me, I just feel like it's so hard to read for a breakout on this thing. Hmm. There's a big seller on this level too. Looks like they might have gotten eaten here though. We'll see. But yeah, there was like an 80,000 share seller at around 137 the last 2 minutes. How are we already up to 38 viewers? That's insane. I appreciate you guys that are all here. Thank you. Hopefully we get some action here at the half hour. Yeah, PLRZ, just kind of trading sideways. Not really in play. Volume is confirming. Could be. I'm still very iffy on it. We're still seeing very large sell orders here too. Right, but on the flip side, if you look at actual volume that's been executed, that hasn't been super high yet. So whoever has been trying to sell here hasn't actually been filling a lot. That could be them trying to shake out longs, or that could be someone intentionally trying to just sell here without crashing the price. Small caps are pretty tough now. Yeah, I mean, they've been tough. I feel like they've been very difficult to trade. I've talked with a lot of people. A lot of people seem to be struggling lately, and I get it. It's been really rough. I've been having to reduce size, reduce frequency of trades. Just anything to reduce my exposure risk. But yeah, we're top of the hour now, or not top of the hour. We're at the half hour now. We'll see if we get any news, and we'll see if we can catch any momentum. Interesting how this was selling off, but right at 7:30 is when we saw this turnaround. We'll see if that means anything. HEBC News, thank you, I'll check it out. Good catch, yeah, 7:30, so it does have live news, like you said. Let's see, 25 million for Thinkorswim. 121 million for Lightspeed. Okay, so this is a much higher float. You can kind of see that on the daily, right? This moves very slowly typically. Now it's this major commercial win. I mean, that is strong news. But I'm worried that the high float's going to overwrite that high news. Not the greatest setup. Also, the price is a bit lower. So yeah, this not really ticking a lot of my boxes for opportunity here. Good catch on it, though. Saw it right away. And I mean, this news catalyst is strong, so you might see a small pop here. But I wouldn't expect like a 50% move or something. I just want to jump back real quick here. Kayla, looks like we did roll over a bit more. So this pop was not resolving. All three of these downward candles are on lower volume, though. This is slightly bullish. I was bearish up here. It looks like it reversed. I'm a little more bullish here. Okay, I'll go ahead and jump back here. Just wanted to point that out. Just made 66 cents per share on PLRZ. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I see it did have a little bit of a spike there at 7:30. Some volume came in. 16 to 1660. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm mostly watching that stock on the side just because it's not really near the highs, and it's not really meeting a lot of my criteria for front side move, right? This could just be the backside. It's hard to say. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, this one doesn't, I just don't think this is really going to go anywhere. Right, you might see a pop to like 110, 115. I don't think it's going much higher than that. Ooh. Right as I say that too, PLRZ, I'll go ahead and look at this real quick. All right, we did have a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, 1650 to 1550. It's a whole $1 a share drop. They did have news that came out at 7:32 as well. So that's probably what caused the spike. Yeah, 7:32. Yeah, so they had news come out. And I guess the initial response was just jump on it because there's news. And then maybe some reality set in. KALA, still near the lows at the moment. Yeah, I don't feel confident buying into this. Pattern doesn't seem clear to me. But yeah, it's looking like it may be a slower start today. HUBC tapping at 110 here. Yeah, we're having this theme lately too, where the stocks are lower price, like HALA and HUBC, or KALA and HUBC both have this theme of lower price, higher float. And I just don't have super high conviction in those kind of things. This isn't really what we want to see for a stock to go up 50%. Now, I understand that since this is a lower price, 50% is a little bit easier to achieve, but still. You went back for seconds and got bit. Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. Like I said, I'm slightly more bullish here, just because this pullback was on lighter volume. But considering how we had a big seller here, considering how the volume was high here on this initial selling, to me, I'm like roughly neutral with this. You still got, yeah, this is the HUBC. You've got the thick float here on Kayla. Like, I mean, to me, there's just no edge trading these stocks. Go ahead and take a look at HUBC, though, because this is moving. Yeah, one nice thing, too, if there's only one or two movers, then if you get something that has a really, really strong catalyst, you can see a huge move, right? Because everyone's just focused on that one stock. But yeah, today it's just like, when you're looking at stuff like this where, I mean, I said this, I personally thought this had a potential of 110 to 115. Seeing it reject hard off 115, I'm not really surprised. And actually, the volume is quite high on this rejection, too. Large seller, yeah. I mean, on the level 2 here, I saw like a 50,000 share seller. Considering the shares, 50,000 is not actually that crazy. For actual volume filled, though, it's a little bit. There's a spoofer on HUBC, be careful. I mean, I saw the sell order. I don't know if there was a spoofing buy order. All I know is that when price spiked here, I saw there was a 50,000 share seller, high volume, price drop. So that's all I saw. If there was a hidden buyer that I just missed or a visible buyer I missed that was spoofing, I just didn't see it. But yeah, no, just the float's too high on this. I just don't have conviction this is going to move. If it moves without me, it is what it is. I just don't want to take that risk. I don't think it's worth the exposure. And yeah, Kayla's just trading sideways too now. We're locking in for a long grind today. Yeah, 50K? Yeah, okay. PLRZ. Another bit of a drop here. All right, so we had a first one. We're having a second one here. Volume's significant, so I'm not interested in buying any knives. It's all 10-cent moves, not really worth it. Exactly, right? You got to remember, too, because I'm trading commission, if I'm going to trade a stock that's around $1, I really, really need to have a good reason to think it's going to go to 110. Because that's basically the entire move. Yeah. KITT looking okay, but needs to break that 170. I can take a look at it. I looked at it earlier. I can't remember what this looked like. Yeah, I liked this for something. Yeah, so the mere fact that we're at these upper levels from this move, I'm definitely still bullish, even though this looks disgustingly bad. Yeah, I mean, if this can hold here and break out, really this 170 level to 180 level, right? You get above 187, this is seriously in play. Yeah. KALA continuing to sell off here. Notably, volume is dropping, right? As this has gone down, this volume has dropped. This is actually, I mean, I know I said I was slightly bullish here. I'm actually a little bit more bullish now, even down here. I still don't think I'm going to touch it, but my interest is a little bit higher at these price ranges. Dude, we are at 50 viewers. This is insane. I've actually never had this many viewers on here. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I know it's not the most exciting today. I know, but I'm just really surprised to see the channel growing this quickly. This is a smaller channel. You can see by the subs. I only have around 170 subscribers. If you like what you see here, maybe consider subscribing. I do stream every day. But yeah, let's get back to this. This is a lot more clean for an entry for me. I'm gonna reduce size here to 1/8. I'm more interested in this now. Right, this pop down here, again on lowish volume. It increased, like we're up at around 40,000 now, but on this initial flush down to 14, we were only at around 10,000 volume. Yeah, and don't forget to hit the like button. Exactly, see? Football Master, you get it. KITT too thickly traded. Yeah. No, 50 viewers. It's insane. Like, I've been streaming for like a month and I'm already to 50. Like, that's insane to me. I mean, I wouldn't call it wonderful content, but I'll call it consistent because I do show up every day. I haven't missed a single day. Wonderful content, it's a different story. Sometimes it's a little slow. Yeah, so this did end up bouncing. If this had came back down to 14 and went down to like 1370s with low volume, I was going to buy that. Yeah, this looks like it's starting to get slightly extended. I understand we are seeing high volume on these breakdowns, but the high volume is only coming after the break, not on the break, which is a bit unusual. What is my trading strategy? So 2 strategies, front side moves, back side moves. So yeah, lately it feels like the front side has only been working on the top movers that are going up like 50% plus, because I'll try and engage with them, and if the stock's only up like 30%, what seems to be the pattern is that me buying micro pullbacks does not work on them. I lose more than I win on them. I've been trying to take reduced size to limit the downside risk, but ultimately they're just not really paying off. The only thing that seems like it's paying off to trade front side is either small base hits or only trading the absolute best ones, right? The ones that are moving 100% plus. Yeah, you can only provide what the market gives, exactly. Right? I mean, I'm at 0 trades. If I see an opportunity, I'll take it. I don't want to force it, though. And I mean, I'm on like, what, a 7 or 8 day green streak? If I can only take 1 trade, and that might put me red on the day, The green streak doesn't matter to me. What's more important is that I take the best setups I can find. How many days in a row you're green, that's just, to me, that's just a mindset. CLNN, can't find news. This had like, didn't this do something yesterday? Yeah, this did something yesterday. Yeah, so this had news yesterday that caused this spike and drop. So this might just be some kind of resolution from this. The fact that it rugged this hard, though, I would probably stay clear of this. Doesn't look very good to me. Unless there was news now that would override that, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't see any news. Yeah, HUBC completely rolled over. So we're at around, yeah, we're around a 60-70% retention failure. So moves that are not moving are getting punished very hard today. And this market, I mean, just limiting exposure is the best remedy right now. We've come back down. Volume's quite light on this as well. Let's see, do we have any kind of support here on this move up? I mean, you could maybe argue here, right? So like 1286 maybe. So if we saw a breakdown to 1286 on low volume, I might be okay taking 1/8 size on that. Certainly possible, right? This looks a little bit extended. Yeah. Below VWAP and declining. EKSO. Check it out. Ooh, very nice catch on that. Yeah, I'll definitely check this out. Looks like we do have news. Float looks low. Yep, definitely low float. I think 1/8 size is appropriate. Enters an agreement. Okay, so we had a nice pop. Volume is still very high on this second candle. If we see a pullback and this volume goes down, I'd be interested. This definitely has more of the criteria. This is certainly a stock in play. 28,000 share seller at 590. Don't like to see that. Really struggling at around 590. Maybe a hidden seller there. But it's also holding at 570. We'll see if this holds. No. So we saw a break and it's trying to retrace. seeing pressure on both sides here. It seems like bulls and bears are attacking this, right? This held 570 for a while. There was a big seller at 592 and a hidden seller at 590. But we also retraced on this break back to 570. Yeah, 580s, 590s. This range is very, very important. Supported around 550 on the daily. A lot of selling on the level 2 here. Yeah. $6 down to 547. 200,000. Yeah, that's rough. Thanks for the call on FRSX. I'm going to keep EKSO on watch. I'm going to move over to FRSX here. Go look at this. So this also has news. FRSX. Okay, so this says 509 million. That's probably wrong, though. This is way too thinly traded to be that low. I'm going to change this to 50 for this one. Secures 3 million institutional investment. Oof. This was a breakdown on very low volume. Could be a fake out. EKSO down at 5 now, so EKSO seems to have gotten hit hard. We're looking at daily. 260s is basically the highs. Some fighting at 260s. I'm still seeing a lot of red on the tape, though. All right, I'm in there at 47. Half size, though. That break of 250 felt a little bit weak. Right, even on this volume's still quite low. This looks good. Looking for mid 260s for profit. We'll see if we get that resolution or if it'll just roll over. Okay, touch 260. I wanted mid 260s. There we go. Got 264. Ended up going to 280, but I'm just not really... Seeing how everything is rolling over, I'm just not wanting to overstay my welcome here. Weeble has a 10-second chart now. Really? Did they just do that? Because last time I checked, it was only 15. We're about to hit 8 o'clock too, so we'll see if we get any news that comes out for 8. It's crazy to me. This went, like, even right after I sold. The fact that this went up another 15 cents is crazy. Yeah, this looks... We were seeing decreasing volume on this pretty big pullback. This looked a lot better than EKSO. I only took half size, though. I didn't have enough conviction to go full size. And I mean, you could have argued maybe I should have just sold half, but I wasn't feeling it. $55 viewers. This is, by the way, just for context, the current best concurrent viewer count for this channel is 43. So the fact we're at 55 right now is insane to me. We're just blowing it out of the water today. But yeah, this is still showing strength, right? Very high volume. Keep in mind, too, that even though this is 509 million, I can tell just by looking at the level 2, this is definitely not a 509 million share float. Likely only a few million. Oof. Actually, I want to jump over here. EKSO. Nasty rug here, right? 5 all the way down to 460. You trade futures, but YouTube recommend. I have been trying so hard to make YouTube understand this is a small cap channel. Like, I've tried putting it in the thumbnails, in the title, in the description. Like, I'm trying to push for small cap traders because I mean, you know, if you're a futures trader, you want to watch futures, right? But yeah, it's crazy how the algorithm works sometimes. You know, it's Lightspeed with Thinkorswim here with a penny stock. Yep. You're on point with that, Captain Price. Yeah, you shorting EKSO, that's godly, dude. Like, just... I mean, this is the short seller's dream. Spike into just rug pull. Yeah, I was watching this. If this would have retraced further down to like 1 or 430s, then I would have been interested. It's kind of consolidating here, though. Not really what I'm looking for. Yeah, YouTube's an interesting beast. I've tried to understand it. It's a bit out there. NDRA. This is a micro float. Okay, 8 a.m. Okay, matches performance. Bunch of gobbledygook. Don't really understand what it's saying here. Basically, they had some sort of clinical trial and they're giving information about it. A lot of stocks moving here. Yeah, FRSK, still very much in play. I was watching this for a potential knife to catch. Still definitely could see it. Just looking at the daily, 550s is a clear level. So maybe like 524. 527. Posturing for it, just in case it does do it. FRSK, rugging. Or FRSX, sorry. Oof. I'll take half size here. Gonna add actually. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, I'm getting out. Massive seller, like 60,000 share seller popped up right around here. I was gonna try and hold for 239. Seeing that big seller, that's an immediate bail for me. If this does get to 239, I'm curious how price will react because I saw a 60,000 share seller flash on the level 2. So curious if it even gets there. Yeah, it's not even able to test 239. Someone's selling hard here. I have a feeling. So if someone is selling hard, I can't buy this again. This first buy was fine because this is a crazy extension. Knowing now that it's consolidated and it appears there's a hidden seller, I can't engage. I need to wait for it to go lower. Even though this volume's low, I need to wait for a little bit more of an extension. I mean, if it bounces here, it is what it is. Too dangerous to try and get involved with that. Another B plus quality again. Okay. Low volume on this test. What am I looking for an entry? Probably like low 2s, right? Like 207, 206. The issue is now I'm pretty sure there's a hidden seller. So I'm worried to engage because I don't know how big the seller is. By the way, that was actually a really great execution. Me seeing that seller and immediately bailing was absolutely the correct call here. Do I look at small caps options? No. I used to trade options. I still do short contracts for kind of a hedge slash wheel play, but I don't really do it for a short term. It's more of a long term kind of investment play on stocks that I like. Like I use the wheel strategy on PayPal. I think PayPal is at a good price right now. There's a couple others too. Yeah, if this bounces here, it's whatever. So you said KALA was bouncing. I can go ahead and look at it. Yeah, it's bounced significantly. Also, volume is incredibly high. Like I said earlier, this stock is out of play for me for the reasons I described earlier today. Low price, higher float. But this is reassuring to see this high of a volume coming through here. Overperforming the volume back here. Calling it a day here. Your last trade was too risky. You were lucky after adding on a losing position, so it must stop. Yeah. Yeah, adding to a loser... yeah, I used to do that back when I was newer. I got into a lot of trouble doing that, so I've kind of learned not to do that anymore. Thanks for the live stream. Have a interesting... Okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate you being here, man. Actually, before you go, I just want to go ahead while we have a lot of people. I do have a Discord server, so if you guys are interested, I'll go ahead and throw it in the chat. It's also in the description. If any of you guys are interested, I do post on there periodically. I post my results. You can also get my spreadsheets there. So if you guys want a template just to use, I give all this for free. I'm not trying to sell anything. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can check that out. CTOR getting eviscerated here. Yeah, so this pumped on no news. That's a bit of a red flag. Increasing volume here. Very, very high volume on this selling too. This could be someone trying to set up a pump and dump. There's some factors in play for that. I mean, look at this too. FRSX. Like, brutal how much this is getting hammered. I wanted to enter here initially, but because we've consolidated, I feel like we need a bit more now. We need basically just below 2. Insane to me how quickly these stocks go from bullish to bearish. All right, I'll go ahead and take a stab here, though. 199. Regular size. We'll see if we get a bounce at 2. What was the low here? Low was 97. So pretty good entry, just 2 cents from the low. Yeah, most of the volume from this candle was this top part. This lower part didn't really have much volume, and it broke too. CMBM is moving. I need to pay attention to this right now, so unfortunately I can't look at it. But it is popping up on my scanners, and it does look good. Very interesting that this is just continuing down here. So even though this approached here on high volume but broke on low volume, it's still willing to push lower. It's unusual. Again, low volume on this push down. Or at least relative low volume. It's still 67,000. It's kind of crazy. Can you look at QUBT? I can. My apologies, I just want to focus on this because this is the trade I'm in. Because I know that there was a big seller, it's tempting to want to buy here. This volume is low. Yeah, Cala back up. I see that. Sorry to bother you. Your Discord invite isn't working. Really? Yeah, when I exit this trade, I'll take a look. It might have just had an expiration date tied to it. Poor timing on my part. Yeah, thank you for calling that out. Yeah, I'm going to cut this trade here. I gave it time, but I didn't time the bottom quite right, and I just don't have the conviction to add. This is under a lot of pressure here. So give me one moment. I'm actually going to turn off my display so I can go ahead and open Discord here. All right. Ah, okay. So, yeah, okay. So by default, it was set to expire in 7 days. All right, I'll have to use a different one going forward. I'll go ahead and throw this in the chat. I'm assuming this invite should work. Go ahead and give that a try. Let me know how that goes. Thank you for calling that out. I will update it in other places appropriately later. Okay, we should be good. All right. All right, so where was I? Right, so real quick before I move on from this, to me, just when I saw this move down to 2, I saw it move down on high pressure, but then break on low pressure. That looked bullish. I tried to take it. We can see that it's slightly trending down, clearly showing I didn't time the bottom, and my thesis was wrong. It's working, thanks. Yeah, that was the problem. So I was using a 7-day-old link, and by default, they expire in 7 days. So I will update it in the proper places going forward. So someone was asking about QUBT. I looked at this. We had a nice move, but it's just trading sideways here. So there's nothing really action-wise to look at. Just right away, I can tell that this is a higher float stock. Just the way it's been ranging. Yeah, 129 million. So at least for a day trader, this would be out of play for me, right? The float's just too high. There's no volume now. So there's nothing really, for me at least, to look at. All right. Yeah, FRSX curling a bit now. I'm not going to touch this. It's already burned me slightly back here. The seller that I saw back here was much bigger than I expected. It was able to push it all the way down here. And for all we know, maybe they're not even fully out. That was a B+ quality. That was a good setup. It just didn't work. Yeah, this one's just going to be out of play. So CMBM was doing a lot of action. I saw it on the side chart here, but I was too absorbed in the other trade, so I couldn't mess with it. Yeah, 27 million. That's kind of high. This volume isn't really what I would want to see either. You can even just see the level 2 is a bit thick. Yeah, I'm probably not interested in this anyway, so it doesn't look like I really missed out. Yeah. Man, we're just seeing these stocks get brutalized. Like, a lot of these stocks are just rolling over. It's insane. It's down at 450? Dude, these, like, I mean, ESKO, this massive rollover. What was the one I traded? RFSX, massive rollover. Yeah, this is... Holding a stock for an extended period is just getting you absolutely punished on some of these lower percent movers. Right, you're not even just going back to flat, you're going red on the day. I mean, to me, that just says that shorts are in full force. It's a tough world to be a long bias trader right now. Very tough world. Yeah, only three trades on the day. Nothing really screaming at me to get involved. Yeah, flip-flop. You said you were going to hold longer. Did you manage to hold to capture more of these moves today? Or did you snap and take the very greedy 50% profit on some of these moves? Like, that's... Not gonna lie, it's there's definitely some FOMO I'm feeling. I feel like I'm missing out from not shorting a lot of these moves. At the moment, doesn't seem like there's a lot of action or stocks in play, so I'm mostly waiting for 8:30, see if we get any news. I'm a bit worried because 3 stocks now have had major rug pulls like this. And I'm worried that the next stock that moves, people are going to be afraid to touch it because of that. So I may need to either dial back the share size or just wait for an extremely clean entry. Kala clearing high of day. I forgot to check on that one. You did call that out. Yeah, so it is going back to high of day. Very impressive volume. Right, our volume is clearly much higher than back here now. Looking at the level 2, I mean, it's thickly traded, but that makes sense because it's a higher float. Oh, I mean, 7 million is not super high. Would I look at QUBT during the day? I mean, from a swing trader perspective, I don't know anything about the company, so like whenever it's market hours, that's whenever I do the swing trading stuff. But yeah, for me, this just seems like a stock that did a move and now it's going sideways. Like I don't really know anything about this company, so I really wouldn't know how to assess it. But just looking at the shares outstanding on it, right? I think it was like 100 million or something. Yeah, 129 million. To me, this stock just seems like it's too high of a float, too low a volume. And it's just out of play for me, right? This thing's a little bit choppy too. That's just my read on it though. Got another 10% on Kayla. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. I mean, I gotta stick to my guns. I said this was out of play for me. I'm going to stick with that. I am feeling slight FOMO for this, but I will avoid the temptation here. Stay on the sidelines. We are coming up on the half hour too, so I think it's reasonable to be patient here. Looks like me getting out of Frisk was a good decision, right? It's basically just churned sideways here. I could have gotten out for break even, but at that point my thesis was completely ruined. Just taking the small loss and getting out of the way is probably just the right play. We didn't know how big the seller was too. Hmm. MAMO looks interesting here. We have news that just came out. Float's a lot higher. Right now, it's thinly traded. But according to both Thinkorswim and Lightspeed, the float is much higher. This needs to be a 1/4 size. This thing can really flush hard. Very high volume here on this candle. Tried to buy there, couldn't get filled. Trying for 5 here on the recapture. Only 1/4 size. Yeah, this breakdown was light and I wasn't getting fills on the bid. Showed some bullish pressure. 520 struggling a bit. Tried to get out there at 34. Didn't get filled. Probably looking for 540s at this point. No, it's struggling too much at 532. I'm out. Seeing it break that critical 530 and then struggle at 532 tells me there was a hidden seller. Thank you for taking the time to read it. QUB2 is one of the 4 pure quantum computing plays. Okay. Again, I wasn't aware, so for me, I wouldn't be able to make that assessment. I was looking at it purely from a day trading technical perspective, and for me, day trading it didn't really make sense. But yeah, if there's like a computing thing to it, and you think that there's a potential there, definitely worth investigating, of course, right? You do your own research. If you think there's opportunity, you can swing it. I just think day trading it, from my angle, my perspective, didn't seem like a good idea. But yeah, very good call on me bailing. when I saw that 530 was struggling, or when I saw it was initially getting tested, I said, okay, let me try and sell it around 530, missed the fill. And at that point, I saw 530 was getting tested hard. So I figured, okay, let's pull our order. Let's place it 541, try to get that break and capture that little pop. But then when 530 broke, and then there was a big sell order at 532, to me, that was the red flag to get out. SPMI thoughts. I can take a look. PMI. Ticker PMI. Oh, what on earth are we looking at here? This looks like a pump and dump and a half, right? Is this an IPO? Yeah, okay, so stock IPO'd, you moved up, you had it dump. So whatever this is, probably Chinese company, just because they tend to do this more. I'll look it up real quick. Let's see if it's a Chinese company. Australia. I mean, fair enough. But yeah, this looks like it was a pump and dump. You can see the price just kept going up. Huge seller came in. Either that was an unlock period or someone was just marking the price up. And this is just the aftermath. And actually, I should do this here because I had my face in front of that, so you guys just didn't see any of that. Excellent. But yeah, this looks... So this was IPO. The price just kind of laddered up and rugged. This is very common for a lockup period or someone just laddering the price up to rug it. This happens not all the time, but it sometimes happens. In my opinion, if you see this, you're better off just avoiding, because if they did it once, they can do it again. And it's basically proven itself to not be trustworthy. Yeah, that's just my thought on from a technical perspective. Yeah, I've never tried to get involved in buying on these legs just because I've seen this happen, this rug. It does happen. And specifically when you see this kind of pattern on a new IPO, it's very, very common that the result will be a rug at some point. And the problem is you could say, oh, well, I'll just sell when it starts going down. But a lot of times what will happen is it'll halt down and then it'll gap down 80% in some cases. So yeah, I mean, personally, this is not financial advice, but just what I would do is I would avoid it. Jumping back to MAMO, though, it looks like I was actually super right to sell here. Because this thing is just getting sold into like crazy. You're seeing consistent volume, which tells me this is distribution. We don't know how big the seller is, but this is very, very clear distribution. This pattern is very common for calculated selling. See, I would need a bigger extension before I try to go in on this. I can probably increase size back to half though. Right, we're not trading near the highs anymore. Quarter size isn't really needed. Yeah, probably just looking at the daily. I mean, 386, that's probably a good spot. Covered Mamo for $1 profit. Just feel like this one moves around too much. Yeah, this one was a little bouncy here, right? Like this one had a lot of range to it. I'm more bearish now just because of this continual selling pressure. Right, this volume is almost identical each minute, and the range it was moving down is the same. Looks like very calculated distribution. Even here, I'm not really that bullish. Did I log this trade? No. Okay, I'll go ahead and log this real quick. I think I did the sizing good on this too. This was quite volatile, so I took 1/4 size. Looks like it was correct. I made $8, but considering it was 1/4 size, I think I sized appropriately. I hate to keep putting B plus, but it's just, well, maybe B. Frustrating too, because I was trying to get orders at 480s. So I did have to chase a little bit on this one. 390, 386. I want it to go a little lower if it can. I did say 386, and I didn't punch it. We saw 386 too. Yeah, I went to 382. Well, no, like I said, this looks like it was distribution. And typically when we see that, the possibility of someone of this going down, or rather, just the possibility of this going down a lot more is higher, because you only really see this distribution pattern if they're trying to sell a very, very large position. That was why I was concerned about jumping on over here. Right? I mean, in hindsight now, it's like, oh, 450, yeah, you wouldn't want to buy here. But at the time, right? At the time, this looked like an interesting spot to buy. And if you didn't see this distribution, you might have thought that. Give me one more push down. Tried to catch that knife. I put orders out for it. I could see that this was the bottom. Yep. The selling pressure dried up on this push down, and then whenever I was putting buy orders out, they weren't getting filled. And I can't buy here now. I'd be chasing if I bought here. I tried. I was close too. Really close. Oh, now if this goes to 4, I'm gonna cry, because that would have been a beautiful trade. That would have been like 20 bucks. I'm a little bit tilted from that. Third trip on Kala, success for your FOMO. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate adding FOMO to my injury. No, I don't mind it at all, though. Like, I'm happy for you. I really don't... I mean, I feel a little FOMO just because it's going up. But, like, I just look at this, and I see how it's moving slower. I see how the float's higher. I'm just not really interested in this one. So I do feel a little FOMO, but it just doesn't look that appealing to me either. Still kicking myself for missing this. This is where I'm feeling the real FOMO. Because I put 3 buy orders trying to get filled here. And I couldn't get them. That's how it goes. And you know, maybe I should stop being so ungrateful too. I'm up 20 bucks today in a market where most stocks are rugging. As a long bias trader, making money when stocks are doing this, I really should be more grateful. Maybe that's the angle I should be looking at this from. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at other stocks here too. I don't really see anything in play. First time watching the channel, first time watching any kind of live stream. Super interesting. Thanks for sharing. No, I appreciate it. Today, I mean, we had a little bit of mixed energy where a whole bunch of stocks were moving at 8. So I kind of had my focus split. And because I was in a trade, unfortunately, I was forced to commit to that. I don't really like trading multiple different stocks at the same time. It splits focus. And I mean, the big thing is just that not a lot of people do this. Like, if you look for other people that live stream at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. my time, there's basically no one. And I was like, okay, if I can't find anybody to watch, then I'll just do it myself and get the community that way. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you found it interesting. Like I said, I do stream every day, 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. And I haven't missed a single day. So yeah, if you want to see more of this, you can always subscribe. Check out the Discord. I do post recaps as well on the channel. So if you missed the stream, you can just see the recap. I usually keep them very short. They're like 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. Basically just going over my results for the day, what I saw. I don't really want to waste a whole bunch of time with the recaps. It's supposed to be brief and just very quick summary of what happened today. But yeah, typical protocol is when we hit 9 a.m., I'll wait, see if we have anything come on the scanners at 9. If we don't have anything, then I'm going to call it. If we do, then I'll stick around and see how that stock plays out. Yeah, this has honestly not been a great day in terms of momentum building. I was really optimistic after PLRZ did its big move, right? Right, my thesis was supposed to be that shorts are in pain, right? We had a short squeeze here, it held, had another short squeeze here. I'm not going to say it's failing, but it's kind of struggling to hold a bit. But no, going into today, I was really hoping we would see another kind of stock that spiked 100% and held. And it doesn't seem like we saw that today. SLMT moving. We have news at the quarter hour and decent volume. Okay. Daily looks horrendous. Basically straight down. It's either a recent IPO or a merger, though. Okay, yeah. Crypto headline. I don't have size, right? Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. This looks a bit noisy. All right, you can see too that this got rugged pretty hard. This company's probably diluting pretty hard here. All right, it appears they've had a recent reverse split too. I want to check the filings real quick. By the time I check the filings, this thing will have died. We'll see. Yeah, so they do have shelf registration. See if we can push down a little more. Take half size at 33. Volume came in the second half of this. Yeah, I can't really add on this. Too much weakness. Probably looking for high 220s to take a small loss on it if I can get it. Okay, we'll take that. Take a small loss. Yeah, considering I went immediately from 233 down to 211, right? $10 loss immediately. I can't really add on that. It would have turned this loser into a winner, but you can't risk that. Very brutal rug pull too, right? 270 all the way to 211. Absolutely disgusting. This is a vicious market to be a long bias trader. Like it's so difficult. It makes me afraid to hold anything too. It's insane. Like, you'd think a $2.70 stock wouldn't rug 60 cents in a minute. Like, that's... And like part of me wanted to add here, right? But like it's that adding to loser's mentality can absolutely kill you in this market. In this market. You got to resist that temptation, and you got to resist the temptation to chase too. PPCB moving, but it's sub $1, so I'm not interested. Yeah, 200,000 shares for this kind of move. Seems a little bit extreme. But we don't really know the context of this either. There is a shelf registration as well. So this could have just been dilution. Right? I mean, just recently too, we had it go from $5.82 to $2. All right, let's see if it does another leg down here. I would at least consider a second stab at it. Yeah, 188 looks decent. Yeah, even the level 2 is still very thin. Six minutes till the top of the hour as well. PLRZ is curling a bit, getting some volume inflow into it as well. $9 a.m. is coming. This has been a PR morning for you. What a weird market. Basically, everything is getting sold. Wonder if this is typical for December. This is, dude, this is not typical. Stocks do not fail this hard typically. At least from my experience. So, very, very interesting environment we're in right now. Yeah. Five trades for me today. Still not that many. Yeah, this is pressuring 205 too much. I don't even feel confident taking it here. I need like 182. I mean, we have a clear buyer here, but I just don't know how much I trust it. Well, here's the thing too, right? A jackknife of 50 plus cents isn't normal, I agree. But in addition to that, it seems like a high amount of stocks are doing this, right? SLMT did it, HUBC did it. What was the other one? The one I traded. FRSX did it, right? We're seeing this repeatedly over and over. And I mean, I'll be honest, it's making me afraid to hold anything. I see that. Yeah, there is some coming through here. No news on it, like live anyway. Yeah, SOMT, it looks like it's kind of bouncing. Kind of out of play for that now. Yeah, I'm still watching PLRZ. What is the shares for this? Only 4 million. Okay, wait. This is actually kind of in play here. This had a move yesterday. It curled back. Yeah, this one's actually kind of in play. $200,000 of volume. I might try a front side micro pullback on this one. Struggling at 550 a bit. It's really whiplashing around here. I want to go long here, but it just seems like it's really struggling at this 550 for some reason. Okay, I'm going to go in here. Micro pullback. Only 1/8 size. Really just trying to expose myself to momentum here. So we did end up breaking 550, but just immediate pullback after. Doesn't really add much for conviction for me. Okay, breakdown was on lighter volume. Still don't really like this setup though. Seems like some buying's coming in here. I'm just gonna cut it. There was a 19,000 share seller, 550. We tapped it and couldn't break it. Oh, there it goes without me. Say goodbye. It's going to the moon. 550 shook me out. Really good call out, whoever shouted out QCLS. That was a good call out. I just couldn't stick in it long enough to get all the benefit. Oh man, and it ended up ripping too. Frustrating. Yeah, since we're at 9, I'll see if we get anything else moving here. I might watch this a little bit longer, see if we get an opportunity on it. So we had 590 to 540s. This was the area of contention, so buying here is rational. But I think it's a bit overblown for me. Yeah, if you can't tell, I've been slightly adjusting my strategy the last few days. I'm trying to get more involved with these front side moves because the backside, just everything's rolling over. So I've been trying to experiment with getting involved more with the front side. Like exposure therapy, size therapy, time therapy. But it's difficult because a lot of these stocks just kind of suck, right? This thing's up 19%. It's nothing too crazy. Have a good one all. Break even day for you on ESK, AKSO, for trades. I mean, hey, I hate to be a broken record here, but in this market, even being if you're a long bias trader and you're break even, you're doing good, right? There are so many stocks today that have just rolled over, and I bet you the average long bias trader has lost money. And I mean, that includes like all traders, right? So like beginners, I mean, there's probably a lot of beginners who tried to trade in this market and they just got absolutely hammered. But yeah, I might be wrapping up soon too. We will see. I want to watch this a couple more minutes, see if we get a good setup, because this is still close to in play for me. But yeah, if it doesn't set up in a couple minutes, I might just call it. But this is pulling back nicely. Volume is lower on these 3 candles. I want to see this break down a little bit more. I don't know if it will, though. It looks like it might have already bottomed out. Okay, so had I gotten in with 1/4 size here, I mean, would have been a decent winner. Do I trade market open? So I do my day trading during pre-market. I do my swing trading during market hours. Just from like the context with me, I'm actually more profitable during the day with my swing trading. That's where most of my money comes from. I'm self-employed. I do this for a living. But most of my money comes from the swing trading. This momentum trading is more of like a side hustle I'm doing. Right? Like $20 a day. You can't really live off of that. Okay, this is, hold on, this is kind of breaking down here. This volume's high, but it's not crazy high. I'd like to see a bit more, please. Looks like we had a bit of a wall at 45. Do I swing small caps too? Yeah, I do. I do research into small caps and swing them. I don't give my recommendations for small caps, or not even recommendations. I just don't state my small cap trades because by their very nature, they're lower float, and I'm worried that if I share that information, that could be somehow construed as a pump and dump kind of thing. So I don't publicly disclose stocks that I'm swinging for the long term. But I also don't like recommend stocks either. I mean, I did PayPal, but I did say that I was involved with PayPal, and that's like a larger cap kind of thing. But yeah, as far as swing trading, it's more of just doing research in stocks you think are, it's a value thing, right? You find stocks that are fundamentally undervalued. You do research. You form a thesis why you think they're undervalued, and then you put a little bit of money towards that. That's how I do it anyway. All right, let's see if this keeps going down here. We're having lower volume on this pullback here. Makes me think this could actually end up bouncing. Yeah, what did we bounce from? 26 to 40 to 50. Yeah, the opportunity was down here to get in. I was a little bit iffy, though. This volume was a bit high. Honestly, this was a setup I probably should have taken. I'm going to take this as a sign to walk for the day. This was a setup I should have identified as a long position, and I didn't jump on it. So I'm going to call it here. What is this? 6 trades for me today. Decent winners. I kept my losers pretty small. So I think today was a pretty good success, especially considering that a lot of stocks were rugging today. The fact that I managed to stay green, I should be happy for that. So I'm a technical trader and I will only day trade, but I want to learn more about fundamentals to spot swing trades. Any suggestions? For learning about fundamentals, start with the balance sheet, start with the income statement, learn about cash flow. Those are the big ones, right? You need to see how the company functions, how they're growing, how they're operating, and then see how they're doing in the world. Like see how they're handling things. And then if you can see a mismatch between what's rational and what is currently showing up in the price action, then that's the opening. And what I found personally, just to give like one more bit of context, like I said, I do the wheel strategy for options. That's not like the primary thing, but it's like a supplement, which is basically saying that the longer I hold the stock, I get passive income from doing that. And if I believe something's undervalued, I'm willing to hold it. And by giving a time commitment with options, I can get extra money just to hold it. Those two factors can really compound well together. At least that's how they've done for me. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for all checking out the stream. Appreciate it. I'll go ahead and make the recap here in a bit.